You gotta. What the hell is wrong with you?
Which one?
You. The other one.
Oh, it's Caecilius. It's
I thought somebody had.
I just read for some reason I'm seeing what he's seeing now. The makeup's cool. I mean, the eyeshadow's cool, but I didn't realize how much makeup you had on. God damn. Hey, yeah, there you go, man.
All right, we are going
Poor jacket.
Shut up, man. We're gonna what we're gonna do is
we're gonna watch
mute ourselves for this, so our screen doesn't highlight and overshadow any of your video. And it'll just kind of bounce back and forth between you guys. If you could maybe like take 10 to 15, 20, 25 minutes tops to take us from the beginning to the end of Iron Man in a truncated fashion.
I thought this was Doctor Strange.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just making sure you guys are here. You threw me off.
But what is it? What is this? We're just basically giving a summary of the movie.
Yeah, you're gonna have to take part of this for me, because about half the way through, I forget what scenes are like. There's plot points within scenes that are kind of just like meh to me. It's just like we're just moving the plot along. Look at some more.
Right. Yeah.
And although the VFX is beautiful, it's not like it doesn't tell me anything. It just shows me a lot of cool things.
So
we'll do our best.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and mute us real quick. Give me 1 second. So
no
you
intro?
are not.
We're not. No way. We're just gonna go.
No theme song.
No nothing. Okay.
So BK or Brandon.
It does. Brandon works. I don't
Brandon
really
works.
care.
Brandon works.
Brandon
okay.
Works. So Doctor Strange, the movie. Basically, it starts out. You see a really scared homie, and then he gets his head cut off. After that, some weird-looking dudes steal a fucking book, and then some like bald-ass Celtic lady comes out of nowhere, chases these motherfuckers down the street. That's when we finally see some pretty cool VFX with the walls are moving and going sideways and shit. Anyway, so they fight for a little bit, and then the dude with the book gets away. Then after that, we finally meet our hero. He's killing it, doing surgery things.
Yeah, we're introduced to the doctor himself, and he's in full-on surgery mode, doing his thing. He's got his music playing. He's doing his music trivia. It's kind of like that old iPod game, like music trivia, and you'd have to like click. And
I do not remember that actually.
Nah?
No, I don't know why, but I just don't remember that.
That was like old. That was like first iPod. Anyways, so he's doing his thing. He's doing the surgery. Everything's successful, and then it's kind of like an episode of House. Like they got this guy they think is dead out in the hallway, and they're like, "Oh, Hugh Laurie, except it's Benedict Cumberbatch. Tell us about, we think he's dead." He's like, "No, he's not dead. He's just got the most specific problem."
Yeah, he's like, this thing is like trapping blood in this particular area, and we just got to take the bullet out, and then he'll be good. And like, I don't know, however long it takes to get better from that.
Right. So they like save his life while also like making fun of another doctor who works there, which is like not very nice, I think. But okay.
It's kind of a testament to his egotistical nature. He's very egotistical. That's what they kind of have to, and it kind of differentiates him from like Iron Man a little bit, even though they're basically the same archetype.
Exactly. They both have the same facial hair. They're both They're
both chodes.
Money. And then they save his life, and you get to see the scene where Rachel McAdams, gets to tell the family the good news. And then I believe, then we get caught up with him and Rachel McAdams and kind of what their relationship looks like.
Kind of a little bit, but they kind of just have like an interchange in the hallway when he invites her to an awards ceremony, and she's like, "It's always about you," and he's like, "But it's not about." He's like, "No, but it is," and he's like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm a terrible dude."
Right.
And so he has like a billion fucking watches. We get to see his swanky ass.
I'm gonna stop right there. I don't know what it is, but it's not just like a drawer of watches. Like the watches have their own turntables. Like, what is going on?
It comes out and they all turn, and
it seems like a waste of energy, but also that's awesome. Like if I did have all the money in the world, it's kind of like in MTV Cribs when you see the cars spinning in the garage.
Your car spinning the garage, Cribs was great. Why isn't that? Is that still on?
I think it's on Paramount Plus, but not like live, like just old episodes.
Oh, well,
but then we get to the big scene. He's in his car, and like the coolest car. I don't even remember what kind of car it is.
I'm not a car guy, or else I just watched.
And of course,
this
he's
part
like
an hour
texting
ago.
and driving, and like, but instead of texting and driving, he's like looking at medical records and driving.
I'm pretty sure that's worse than texting. Like he's looking at like fucking X-rays and like MRI screen. I'm just like, what the fuck? And then
it's like, dude, I can't wait.
Yeah, his dumbass just gets yeeted out into the ocean, and his fucking hands get destroyed.
But that car destroying scene, as much as it's obviously CGI and obviously, it is so cool. I don't know. It really looks like
dark outside. It looks good. It also looks good because it looks really good, and it's dark outside. And you see like the headlights just flying around and blah blah blah.
And then cut to he's in the hospital. He looks fucked up.
Yeah, he does. All those fucking that when his hands are like propped up and he's got all these fucking pins in him. That's cringy. It's cringy to look at.
Yeah, and then honestly, I think the best line comes in there where I forget exactly what he says, but Rachel McAdams is there and he wakes up out of the coma and his hands are there and she's like, they did the best they could, and he's like, I could have done better.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
like,
the line.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And then he goes through this whole like weird part where he's just like trying to get his hands back and he can't get his hands back. And he went through like 15 surgeries or something along those lines.
Right. And he's like in the boardroom and he's like, let's do this experimental surgery. Let's do it.
And they're like, it's going to cost you.
Right. Then we see him in physical therapy. He's like being a dick to his physical therapist.
Yes. And his physical therapist brings up the fact that there's a dude that came to physical therapy and then he just stopped coming to physical therapy. And then he's like, well, what happened? He's like, I thought he died, but he walked down the street next to me.
And then he's like, I'll pull his file for you so to get you to shut up. And you're like, that can't be legal. That you're just gonna pull this guy's file.
No, that's like how many HIPAA violations?
Right, exactly. But okay, so they pull this guy's file because it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
But it takes a bit because he has this like spout with Rachel or whatever.
Right.
In between. Wherever it's like, she's like, basically, he's like, you like broken things. He's just frustrated because somebody.
Because he's like on the So and she like comes to his apartment with groceries.
Yeah, she's being nice and shit, and he's just being an ass because he's frustrated about his situation.
Yeah, I know. That's like relationship 101. Like if someone's coming to cook you dinner, just like shut up.
Eat dinner.
Just do it.
Just eat dinner.
But then I was so taken aback because he like goes to this basketball court. Which, like, I guess it's New York City, and
aren't there just basketball courts everywhere?
And then, like, Benjamin Bratt comes out of nowhere, which is like, you're like, wait, is that the guy from Miss Congeniality and like the husband in Modern Family, Sofia Vergara's husband, or like Manny's dad, and you're like, okay, and he's just
like a cop show. Wasn't he on like a cop show? And
was he? I think you're right. I think I feel like he's like one of those actors who's been in everything.
Yeah, and nobody knows his name unless you.
And even Doctor Strange, where he's like in the top 10 billed people on IMDb. Benjamin, we said Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah, we said that.
Your name is Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah,
sorry,
his name is.
I forgot. I'll shut up again.
Good.
But that's where we learned about Kamartaj, and we learned about the Mystics, and Benjamin Bratt's like, these guys took me to this temple and like now I could walk. And he's like, that's crazy.
So then Doctor Strange goes to Naples.
Nepal.
It's one. I knew it was one of those. Anyway, he goes to Nepal and he gets robbed and finally meets the bald lady from earlier. And
yes, the ancient one.
The ancient one, Sorcerer Supreme. It sounds like a Taco Bell order, doesn't it?
Right? Yeah.
I want to get me a Sorcerer Supreme.
And like instead of like a red cape, it'd be like the like enchilada sauce like slathered on the.
Oh yeah. That'd be such a weird thing that like they're just wearing like a hot sauce packet.
Yeah, with
like a witty one-liner on the front. I don't know.
Dude, this is why we should be an advertiser. This is it.
I am.
But yeah, dude, tell us when it comes in, and what's cool is that in the comics, her character is actually a man, but they gender bent the character. But I think Tilda Swinton did an amazing job. I thought she is just so poised and
looking.
cool.
She's very stoic in this role, and I didn't,
Very stoic. And I feel like she does a good job, like one-upping Doctor Strange's kind of like assholeness.
Yep.
And like she's a little bit of an asshole back, but in a way that's like very poised.
Mm-hmm. And he gets into. She finally lets him in because he's like, "Let me in." So she lets him in for the first time before she kicks him out again. And she's
Right.
like, "Yeah." He's like, "So, how do you do this stuff?" And she's like, something. She's very like methodically, spiritualistically like explaining. He's like, "Oh, so you have like nanobit technology? You can trick the cells into like healing themselves? Like, no, why are you here in Nepal? Oh, because there's no like governing body for doctors." And she's like, "Nah, dude." And she shows him like a book of chakras, and he's just like, "Fuck."
He's like, I've seen that before. Like, this is
At
nothing
a gift
new.
shop. Seen it at a gift shop.
Yeah, dude. And then she just lights him up.
Yeah, it just fucks your shit up. She's like, bam, astral project. And he gets back in his body, and she's like, open your fucking eye. And she goes, blah, 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 blah. And he goes flying down this like trippy. Oh, this was after he gave her tea, and he was like, what was in the tea? And it's just like, nah, it's just some tea with some honey.
Yeah, and he's like, and I was saying before, like, this is like the Matrix. Like, he is going down the rabbit hole. He took the pill, and it really is crazy. I mean, like, it's, you know, whether it's necessary or not can be debated
it's
for
fun
sure.
To look at.
But it's super fun to look at. It's like a kaleidoscope, but like on steroids, which was awesome.
That part where like he's being like taken over with the little baby hands all over his
Dude,
body.
the baby hands
comes out and then like pans out and you see.
And
like,
I think this was
his hands.
Well,
are
I could be wrong. I thought this was pre-Deadpool, but maybe I'm wrong. I think Deadpool was before this. But you know, Deadpool's got his little baby hands where his hand gets cut off. That's what this was like a bunch of little Deadpools.
Yeah, but subtextually it makes sense because that's what's really blocking his spiritual awakening would be the fact
his hands.
His
that's
hands.
You know what? I didn't even think
his hands
that.
are hindering him from everything. And by the way, this movie could have ended very early where it was like, yo, so Stephen Strange got his hands fucked up, so he decided to, I don't know, live in his swanky ass fucking apartment and still be a doctor. He just couldn't do surgeries anymore.
Exactly. He could have been a great consultant to the hospital.
He lost his damn mind.
Right, exactly. But that's part of the, you know, I mean, I guess whatever path he needed to be on to be conceited, he ended up right. And now he decides, okay, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna learn the mystic arts. And he gets to, you know, learn under his master Mordo, who's played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, who I love. And I think like so underutilized in this movie. And I love that he, like, unlike other Marvel movies, I love that he doesn't die by the end of this. Spoiler, but the fact that he could come back at any point in time in the Marvel universe, and now I feel like he needs to have his own movie. But that's besides the point. I think like if he's in Doctor Strange 2, 3, like it'll be better off for it. Like he's amazing here, and he just like he brings so much like badassness to the Comartage, and when he's showing him how the weapons work, like the relics.
That was cool, but I feel like like you said, he's very underutilized. For instance, like that relic scene was by far his coolest scene, but he could have done so much more in the people that he was fighting if Stephen Strange could take them in the end. And it wasn't like this dude was a warrior. Like that's what he did. So it shouldn't be
right. And he's also an incredible actor. Did he win for 12 Years a Slave? I feel like he did. But either way, that movie won. And then he also, what was I just gonna say? There's that terrible movie 2012, which also kind of takes place in Nepal. And he has this amazing speech at the end. And I just feel like, yeah, he's so underutilized here. But to be honest, if I was Stephen Strange, like I would get into this just to be near him, like Chiwetel Ejiofor. I'd be like, oh, I get to chill with him, like outside.
But he ended up spending his time with Wong and trying to make him laugh for the most part. And,
yeah, how did you feel? Yeah, the pop culture, like the pop song.
I'm like, this is going to be very dated very quickly. Nice.
I guess Adele and Beyonce are still pretty big.
Yeah, they are, but at the same time, like 20 years from now, the kids are gonna be like, "Who's Bono?"
Right? They're gonna have to like dub over it and be like, you know, Skrillex. I don't know who's gonna be.
Whoever's gonna be, yeah, somebody that's probably not even born yet.
Exactly.
And then,
but yeah, and then I think so. Then he's learning. He's you know, basically it's him learning. He's like.
He's just reading a bunch of books, learn astral projection so he can read in his sleep.
Right. Then they have that. So then they have that crazy scene. He's like, "Oh, I don't think I'll ever be able to." Or maybe this is before this, but
it's like
they like put him in Antarctica.
No. It starts off like it's like my hands are fucked up. I can't do this like swirly dirl thing to like teleport. And she's like, it's not about that. And she brings over another like master, and she's like, show him how it's done. And he like whips out like not a hand, and he does it.
Yes.
And then after that, he like kind of does it a little bit, but he still can't do it. So Sorcerer Supreme was like, yo, let's go somewhere. So she opens a portal, and they both walk into Everest. They're like standing on one of the cliffs in Everest, and then she just leaves his ass there, and she's like, I guess we'll see if he gets back or not. And that's when he comes back.
He does come back.
He does come back. He looks very cold. I would be so pissed off if somebody left me in Everest, even momentarily.
Yeah, with no like
you're wearing
proper
like
attire.
yeah, you're wearing like summer robes. Like that's.
But hey, it's like, you know, it's like throw you to the fire, right? You got to do what you got to do.
Actually, it was like throw him into an iceberg and
into the iceberg. Yeah, the Song of Fire and Ice, Doctor Strange too. And then I feel like he gets in his thing, and they're showing him the different what are they called? The there's like one in Hong Kong.
Like, just Naruto. They're just going through all the Narutos.
The Narutos?
Or the
Narutos. The Narutos. Yeah.
The Narutos, yeah.
No, what are the buildings called that they're in? The like the sanctums or the sanctuary.
Oh, sanctum. No, but this is after like I don't think they get to the sanctuary until he opens up that fucking eye, that green eye time thing, which is important for later.
So where are we up to now?
Basically he's studying up after he does that Everest bit. So he can like twirl. He's like stealing books from the library while Wong is listening to Beyonce. And he's just stealing books behind him, steals some books, and he's like, stealing books. Then he runs, like he finally gets to a point where he opens up the forbidden book or whatever. The pages were stolen out in the beginning of the movie, and he opens up the eye of blah blah blah. Agamotto.
Yep.
Who's
and then
Sorcerer Supreme, right?
And then he does the apple, right? Takes it to rot, and then he starts to
break time, and so they come in at the last, like the best second. They're like, "Hey, quit fucking with time, man. We don't fuck with time here."
And actually, I noticed they mentioned like the multiverse like several times in this movie.
Yes, they did.
Which is cool because like now we know that's coming in the Marvel universe, but like at the time it was just like, let's just throw out the word multiverse.
That makes sense. Yeah, because like they still have so many different like franchises to incorporate it.
Exactly.
Like I'm excited to see how the X-Men play into this whole multiverse situation.
So then Wong and Mordo tell him about the different sanctums, right? There's the one they're in, which is in Kathmandu, Nepal, and then there's New York City, London, and Hong Kong. And I think that's when he goes into the New York one, or when the Zealots come?
Yeah, the Zealots attack him in the New York one because they know it's not like being defended since somebody died, I guess.
Right, and then the master like of the New York one, I don't know if he gets killed, but he definitely gets messed up.
Yeah, he's dead because they were left without because Steven eventually takes over that.
Oh, right.
But I don't know if it's this fight. I think it's this fight. Anyway, Sorcerer Supreme comes out of nowhere and like tries to save Steven and whatever. So they finally fight off the first like wave of zealots. Because I feel like the rest of the movie, after like you learn all this other shit, is like literally just waves of zealots until the end.
Exactly. Yeah, I think like this first scene was cool because he discovers that little like window that could go anywhere in the world, and then he uses that as like a tool in the fight, and he kicks that one zealot like into the desert and kicks the other one into like the jungle or something, and that's when
he gets his cool fucking cape that reminds me of like the magic carpet in Aladdin.
Dude, I think like that was such a cool. I don't think it's like sentient in the comics, to my knowledge. I think
it's cool. They made it a living character.
Yeah, and Benedict Cumberbatch, to his credit, like really interacts with it in a way that's like
different,
very organic. Like it feels like a character.
Yeah, it's really nice. I liked his acting in this. His accent was still a little shaky for me though.
Yeah, not as good as Hugh Laurie in House. You know what I mean?
Nobody's as good as House.
And then I think he's getting taken down, and then he ends up getting sent into New York. Like he ends up going back outside, and he goes to the hospital through the portal.
No,
and because he gets stabbed.
knocked out. Yeah, he gets stabbed, so he goes through the portal, but he's like an astral projection. And I don't know why, like Rachel McAdams' character is like, "Fuck you, Steven. Get out of the hospital in your weird spirit form. Obviously, I need to go to bed."
No, she's got to operate on him. She's got to operate on him because he's all like,
on him.
So she's operating on him, and then he gets the astral projection, and then I thought this was cool. He had the astral project fight with the other zealot, which was kind of cool.
Was cool.
And like
that was really
and then
cool
then you see like the different people in the hospital, like the guy at the vending machine, and then the vending machine moves, and like
and everybody's like, "What what?"
And then they find out that it's he. If they defibrillate him, then it like shocks the guy in the astral projection like plane. So he uses that as like a weapon, which seems very unsafe.
And it also seems like that wouldn't work.
Yeah, I'm not sure the physics of the astral.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that doesn't work.
The astral world. But yeah, then he takes down that guy, and then I think he ends up. I think by the time he gets back, that's when like the Ancient One and Mordo like find him, and he's like, "I did it. I saved New York."
Yeah, for the first time.
The first time, exactly.
Until fucking Hannibal from the show Hannibal, Mads Mikkelsen comes back, and then Sorcerer Supreme dies. Then the big boss shows up after the Zealots get beat up, and he's like, "Wait, you're still alive?" And so they fight more.
Right, they fight more, and then they're in like I think they're in Hong Kong at that point.
Yeah, at the very end they're in Hong Kong.
And then then Benedict comes back and he's like, "I'm gonna save the day, but not in the way you're expecting."
I know, right? You expect some people, but he goes and he's like, "Dormammu," and just yells the same line 50,000 times.
Right. I'm here to bargain. I've come to bargain. Yeah. And it's cool, I think, because he it's like, you know, a typical superhero movie ends with a big CGI fight. And even though this is another CGI situation, it's cool that he like battles him like almost like a battle of wits, which is cool because, you know, I feel like the whole movie, Stephen Strange has been like this witty tit for tat kind of guy. He's clearly educated, even though he's a huge dick. And it's like kind of cool that he uses that instead of just like, they don't pretend like he's this like master fighter all of a sudden.
No,
which I think is kind of cool.
Pretty shitty at fighting throughout the film.
Right.
And even at the end, he's still getting his ass kicked for the most part.
Right. And the Cape has to swoop in and help him all the time.
Yeah, dude, the Cape is like such a big crutch for this guy, for Doctor Strange. It's like
huge
the Cape
crutch.
saved his ass like the whole time. If it wasn't somebody else, it was the Cape.
And so they trap Dormammu in the time loop, and Dormammu's like, time sucks because he lives out of time.
Yeah.
And so Dormammu ends up
blows.
So he ends up like, I guess, convincing Dormammu, which seems very ridiculous, to leave Earth alone because he's Earth's protector now. And
it's like, leave Earth alone because I'm going to annoy you to death.
I'm pretty sure we also skip like all of the Ancient One dying, but like whatever.
Yeah, she falls off a building, smashes her face, and she dies.
Exactly. And like they have like a cute heart to heart, which was cute. Yeah, then he takes down Dormammu, and then that's pretty much the end.
Yep, and then it ends. So like basically half the movie is just CGI fighting and running on buildings.
Yeah, and like Inception. I wonder if like they had that idea before Inception, or if this movie was like very much inspired by Inception.
Well, it had to be because they had to have some kind of reference. I mean, Inception, like one thing happened, and I feel like the effects department for this film was like, why don't we just like make shit move a bunch?
1,000 times over.
Yeah, we can just make things go we can make things go like sideways and twirl inside of itself and then outside, and then we can have something folding over.
People will understand that. People will get that. And then, but then I think what was cool was that the movie ends with him basically, you know, becoming the Sorcerer Supreme. He becomes the master of the New York Sanctum, and it ends with two end credit scenes, which we don't always get in a Marvel movie. And first one is him with Thor, which was amazing. And Thor's sitting there and he's got I forget what he has in his hand, like a tea or something. And Doctor Strange turns it to a mug of beer that like can't be emptied. And they kind of set up Thor Ragnarok, which is cool because it's kind of followed up in the movie with that same scene, but like the whole thing. And then I think there's another after credit scene, which I totally forgot about. But Mordo, Chiwetel Ejiofor, you see him again, and he comes up against Benjamin Bratt in like Benjamin Bratt's like workshop, and he basically like becomes a zealot himself, but in a different way, and says to him that like he's abusing his magical ability just to walk and like not to like do better for the world. So he like rips the power away from him. And then it ends on this incredible line. He says, I've learned that there are like far too many sorcerers in the world. And to be honest, watching that after watching WandaVision is like a huge mind fuck. Like that's crazy. I'm like,
so I guess we'll see. When does Doctor Strange 2 come out?
Let's see. That is such a good question. Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness comes out. It says March 25th, 2022, which seems about right. So let's hope they stick to that date, because I know with coronavirus.
I hate how we lost an entire year of films.
I know, especially because originally
lost two entire years of films, because like they didn't release half the shit for half of last year they should have, and Wonder Woman fucking flopped because it was supposed to be a summer movie, and it wasn't that good anyway.
I was gonna say I don't think the season would have helped that one, but
no, it was kind of boring for the most part.
But it also sucks because I know like originally WandaVision was supposed to come out like right before Doctor Strange 2 and kind of lead into it.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? Like Kevin Feige, the producer of all the MCU, like I like trust him with my life. I trust him with this Marvel universe, and no matter what order it goes in, I know it's going to be awesome. But yeah, this Multiverse of Madness, hopefully like it'll tie into this movie. So I think this movie is like a must see for people to really get ready for the next phase.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I would definitely like to, I'm more interested in like where they're picking up from. Where does this movie start? What's the starting point of this film? Is it after Endgame? Is it like directly leading? Maybe it's after Endgame, but maybe the villain in this film is like from something that happened in the first film.
Right. Or maybe from a different, it could be from a different universe altogether.
It could be like an alternate universe.
It could be like an X-Men character or something. Who knows? Hopefully not, but it could be.
He could fight himself.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind Benedict. I mean, Benedict, he kind of fought himself in this one. He fought himself as a motion capture demon. So I feel like, why not do that again?
Yeah.
Worked so well the first time.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't get like too old, like Olsen twins-ish.
Yeah, I'm just like wondering how long this movie's going to be. Like, I mean, I'm down for like a 4-hour Doctor Strange movie, especially after like the Snyder Cut, but still like there's just so much. I feel like these movies, it's like too much, like so much they have to talk about.
True. It is too much they have to talk about, but they somehow managed to do it.
Hey guys.
Hi, Dad.
No, that was awesome. I heard Snyder Cut and we wanted to and just now, after releasing the Snyder Cut, and then after releasing the black and white version of the Snyder Cut, he just released another cut while you guys didn't interview. It's 6 more cuts coming. 6 more cuts.
I'm down.
Why?
That's what we said when the black and white version came out.
No, black and white.
In fairness, I was cool.
I like after watching like the original version of like that, like not the theatrical, but the Snyder Cut, like the first Snyder Cut, I was like, cool. And they said there was a black and white cut, and I was like, yep, that's not gonna work. Those colors don't work that way. And
that's for like the people in their basement. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what they need to survive, like they can have it.
But it's not as good as just a regular Snyder Cut. Like the black and white one offers you not. It wasn't made to be in black and white.
It wasn't. But think about this real quick, guys. While we have all 4 of us on here, this is the first time me personally. I've been watching films and TV since I've been fucking 2 years old. But my point is this: he originally attempted to make the film. Josh Whedon got brought in to redo it, and it released. Then all of us watched that release movie, waited years, and then they told us it's going to be 4 hours. We went back and watched damn near 2 hours of the shit we already saw, and it was actually fucking good. It was really fucking good.
It was good. I've been following the Snyder Cut for a while, and I actually read, was it Vanity Fair or maybe it was like Hollywood Reporter or something? They wrote this amazing piece kind of like really detailing all the behind the scenes drama and why the theatrical cut versus Snyder Cut and everything like that. And it is so unbelievably complicated. And it really like, I think like to the typical fan, it's like, why are they doing
Warner
this?
Brothers has been fucking like their own films.
You know what I mean? But it's like, I think it's just like, it's one of those things. It's like artist versus corporations versus franchise. And it's like, politics, we're lucky with Disney and Marvel. They just like kind of do it right each time.
Because Marvel owned the rights.
Right.
So
that's true.
Disney
and Kevin Feige is like, God amongst them. So he's doing it. But, whatever. If Zack Snyder needs to release a black and white movie, I'm not gonna buy it, but if he needs to do it, like, go do it. You know?
I think I'd like to see what. I want to watch another like Zack Snyder Justice League movie. Like
I would watch a sequel for sure.
Just go rewatch Watchmen because he still hasn't seen it.
God
Watchmen's
damn
good.
it.
Watchmen's good.
I saw Watchmen the movie.
The TV. Oh, what about the show? Wait,
Did you watch the TV show?
The TV show? Tell him the TV show was awesome as shit. Did you know
show's
the TV show?
I only watched like half. I still gotta finish it.
TV show's better in my opinion.
Thank you, Brandon. Brandon's right.
I mean, look, it didn't win all those awards for nothing, and it's got Regina King, so I do need to
She
finish
fucking kills it. The whole movie, TV show, like
TV
all
show.
episodes. She
Which,
fucking
like,
kills
these
it.
days, TV feels like especially now we have the Snyder Cut, which is like a 4-hour movie. I feel like TV shows are just movies at this point, you know?
Yeah, there's just because we watch things, we binge everything, so it makes sense that a 4-hour
Exactly.
movie could come out and we'd actually sit down and watch a 4-hour movie. When before, like, think about when movies first released and shit like that. Like, nobody's gonna sit at a fucking theater. Nobody had 4 hours to waste on a fucking film in the 50s.
To watch? No, they had all
Yeah.
the time. What else? They got?
Yeah, they were gonna die at like 60. They didn't have time for that.
That's
shit.
rough.
So like now watching a 4-hour movie isn't that crazy when I've literally watched 9 seasons of NCIS in the past, I don't know, 3 weeks.
We got everything we need for the elevator pitch. I'm actually gonna cut this into its own little mini episode for the following Thursday because there was just a lot of good stuff that won't fit into the elevator pitch. And I hate cutting it short, but we got like 2.5 hours of shooting for the episode left ahead of us.
You guys
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
rock, man. Hey, Coby, thanks to you, Brandon. Thank you. You guys fucking rock, man. Hey, listen.
Thank you guys.
Are welcome on anytime, man.
Thank you guys.
I'll
And good
see
luck.
you next
Hopefully,
week, man.
Listen, Coby, do us one favor. Because you came on for our Marvel episode, we're doing Howard the Duck next season. You got to come back for the Marvel reunion, man.
I'll watch it and I'll be there.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well,
All right.
your fucking
luck.
eyeballs.
Thank you. Yes, you too, Brandon. Back at you. Have a good night,
Good
guys.
luck. Nice meeting you,
All
Brandon.
right. Nice to meet you, man.
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.